Hey folks, Todd Dow here. Thanks for arriving on this video. And in this Facebook ads series, what I'm going to be sharing with you today is how to break down your data so that you can stop those campaigns that are bleeding. And what I mean by bleeding, campaigns that are breaking even or just losing a little bit of money, and you want to actually optimize those campaigns to get to the point where you're starting to profit with these campaigns. As I said in the previous video, you do not want to scale any of your campaigns unless you're hitting 3x ROAS or you're actually getting into profit with your campaigns. And so these are the things that I understand will help. I remember when I was setting up campaigns and I was so anxious to scale them, but I wasn't digging into the data. So one of my big mistakes was being lazy and not looking at the data and understanding exactly what I need to break down to help me to get into profit with my campaigns. So if you guys have any questions whatsoever when I'm showing you exactly how to break things down to where you can make more profit out of your campaigns and get to the point of scaling your campaigns if you haven't already. I definitely understand if you're new to this or if you're super anxious about getting your campaigns to scale up, but these are some key things that you need to put in place in order to start scaling those campaigns and making the maximum amount of profit from your campaigns. And also, up until this point, you've been running ads, you've scaled some of your campaigns, and maybe they're breaking even right now, or maybe they're just losing a little bit of money, and you want to dig into the data that you've been buying over the past few days to see exactly where you can scale up on, cut out all of the bleeding of your campaigns, and make the most profit from it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hop over to my computer where I'm going to share with you how to stop the bleeding on your campaigns and scale up in the right proper areas. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to this YouTube channel because I'm going to be giving out more details inside of this Facebook ad series that's going to allow you to not only scale your campaigns to 2K days and 4K days, but I'm talking about 20K, 40K, 50K, even up to as much as 70K in a day running Facebook ad campaigns and using the scaling techniques that I'm teaching you in this series. All right, so analyzing your data is extremely important if you're looking to scale and also keep the profits. So what I've done is I created a short slide or a couple of slides to help you to understand exactly what you need to do to optimize those campaigns so that you can get to the scaling phase of those campaigns or get back into the profit with those campaigns. So analyzing and optimizing your Facebook ads, this is phase number one. There's actually two phases to analyzing and scaling these campaigns from this point on. Okay, so at this point you should have quite a bit of data to mess with to see that if placements are working, age groups, and again to see if those things need to be eliminated or if you can use them to your advantage to create new campaigns that will perform better than the others. So diving straight on in here, analyzing and optimizing your Facebook ads phase number one, look back on the last 7 days of data. So whenever you go to select your ads, go ahead and select the last 7 days of data, and then go ahead and start analyzing your data using these key rules that I'm going to share with you on this video. So you're going to look at the placement on each ad set to see if Facebook or Instagram has the most conversions. A lot of times for my campaigns, my Instagram ads do not start taking off right away. It usually takes about 48 hours for my Instagram campaigns to start dominating. And if they start dominating inside of an ad set, then what I like to do is I like to separate them so that I know if Instagram's going to give me obviously cheaper conversions over Facebook. But if it's pretty much even, if say for example you got 8 conversions within that ad set and 4 of those are Facebook and the other 4 are Instagram, you're going to want to keep those together and just let it run. But anytime if you say for example you see that there's one sale from Facebook ads and then there's like 7 sales from Instagram, then you're going to want to separate those to see how they're going to perform just by themselves. Because obviously if you have Instagram having 7 sales and Facebook for example, having one sale, then Instagram is dominating in that entire ad set. Now, I wouldn't kill this campaign, but I would definitely move it on to the next phase of testing, which is to launch a new campaign, which I'll talk about on the next slide. Lastly, what I do in phase number 1 is, if you're running male and female, look to see if male or female is dominating in the sales conversions. So if you're going and looking at the data and you're looking to see, if male or female is actually dominating within your campaigns, if you're running to both of these at the same time, you're gonna want to see if male is making more sales than female, and if it is, then you're gonna want to go ahead and set up another campaign for male only. That's the only thing you would change on that particular ad set within that campaign. Now, I'm not talking about editing any of my campaigns. I never ever edit any running campaigns or any winning campaigns whatsoever. Instead, what I do is I actually launch new campaigns with the edits that I've made from analyzing my data. So if you're going back and you're looking at your data and you're following along with this guide and you see that Facebook ads is maybe making more sales than Instagram, then you're going to want to go ahead and test Facebook only. If you're seeing that one of your campaigns or most of your campaigns have all males that purchase this product, then you're going to want to launch campaigns with male only selected. So when I go to relaunching the ads, I do it a little bit different. Starting a new campaign is extremely important, but the way you start it is going to have you making less errors as possible. And the way that I do that is I duplicate the ad sets you want to make edits to into a new campaign. So whenever you're going to duplicate the campaign, you're definitely not going to want to keep that ad set within the same original campaign. You're going to want to launch it into a new campaign, okay, a fresh campaign. That way you know which campaign is working and it's not going to mix together with the results of that ad set within that original campaign. Okay, so again, just to simplify this again, all you're doing is you're looking through your data and you're looking for Instagram versus Facebook. You're seeing which ones are dominating. If one of them is, for example, if Instagram is dominating on one of your campaigns or an ad sets, then you're gonna want to duplicate that ad set, and it's gonna connect with your ads on that particular campaign. So when you duplicate, you're gonna have a new ad set with 4 ads inside the new campaign. The only thing that you're going to be changing within that new campaign is either choosing only Facebook or choosing only Instagram. If you're looking to change to test whether male or female is actually winning, then you're going to do the same exact thing. You're going to launch a new ad with male only or female only, whichever one is dominating in your campaign, and you're going to launch that into a new campaign. That way you know exactly what's working and what's not working. Okay, and so this is phase 1 of actually reading your data and understanding what edits to make to see which campaigns will take off and which ones aren't. Because once we get to the next phase of scaling up, you're going to be spending a lot of money on these campaigns, and we need to know what campaigns are making consistent profits and which ones aren't. And if you're breaking even, or you're losing a little bit of money, or you're just slightly in the profit, you're definitely going to want to cut those down to make sure that you're getting the maximum amount of profit before you head into the next phase of scaling. So we're going to go through we're going to go through 2 phases of analyzing our data before we decide to really take the campaigns to the moon. Now, if you're making like 5x ROAS, 6x ROAS, you're making exceptional profits with your campaigns, then you know a lot of times I won't even care to break it up, because if it's making exceptional profits, I'm definitely going to skip on into the next phase. But I'm talking to specifically if you have slim profits or you're breaking even and you want to dig a little further to see if you can optimize the campaign a little bit better. So I do that by duplicating ad sets and making the edits within the new campaign that I've duplicated that ad set into, instead of doing it on the winning ad set or making any adjustments to the campaign whatsoever. Okay, and so that, like I said before, make the edits from your notes on these new campaigns. So you're definitely gonna want to take notes on which campaigns are doing what and exactly what you need to change once you duplicate that old ad set into a new campaign. All right. So that's pretty much it as far as analyzing the data. This is phase number 1 of analyzing the data. We do go further into analyzing the data. We do start looking more into the age groups. We also start looking into to see also with the male and female, what age groups are these particular sexes actually making the most of our sales. And it can even go even further. If you're just running US traffic, you can see what states are actually making the most profit out of it. And you can run your ads specifically in those states. If you see that any states are dominating over the others, you can group all of the states together in one campaign and start running in those states, so that you're not wasting money in other states that aren't even equaling any profits or making any sales whatsoever. So it does get deeper and deeper and deeper as you continue to run these campaigns. But just keep in mind, we're only doing this for a preliminary testing phase, so that we make sure that we have everything, we cross all of our I's and dotted our T's before we start really spending some money on these campaigns. Okay, because once we get to next part of this phase, you'll start spending more money. But in addition to that, when we get to the third phase of actually scaling, actually the fourth phase of scaling up these campaigns, you'll see that manual bidding is really gonna help you to take off your campaigns. And when you do, and if you've ever done any type of manual bidding whatsoever, you're gonna be spending a serious amount of money. And by going through these phases and making sure everything's tight before scaling up, it allows you to stay in a profit, and it also allows you to see what's working and what's not working before you start really spending some money on your campaigns with manual bidding. And in the process of doing that, you're raising capital so you can continue to use as you go to scale up your campaign. So because once we get to the point where we're spending $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a day, we definitely want to know that everything's in order before doing so. So go through these phases. Do not skip out on any of them. This phase right here may seem a little rudimentary, but I'm telling you, it does get more complex in the future. And so once you made these tweaks, it'll definitely help you in the future once you start scaling up your campaigns. But this only applies to people who have very small profits, or you're breaking even on your campaigns, or you're losing a little bit of money on campaigns, and you want to get into the profit where you're comfortable before starting to really scale up your campaigns. Okay, so but if you have campaigns where you're making 4x ROI, 4x ROAS, or 5x ROAS, or 6x ROAS, stuff like that, then you can hop straight into the third phase of actually scaling up these campaigns in the process. So, and providing that the profits will hold, you will see in that last phase of scaling up, if the profits will hold, it's gonna raise a little bit, and that's the reason why we do go and look into the data even deeper, because we know that once we really start scaling on that fourth phase, the conversion costs are going to go up and the profits are going to go down a little bit, and you want to make sure that you're in the right zone so that when you do start scaling your campaigns, you still got a little bit of cushion as far as making your profits and keeping your profit margins as you continue to grow. So with all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, go ahead and comment down below. If you've enjoyed this series so far, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already. This is my time, and I'm going to go ahead and, like, this weekend I'm going over and doing a private tour over here in Bali, Indonesia. So I may not be able to obviously upload any more videos until Monday, but I do have some videos scheduled for over the weekend, so you guys won't miss out. So anyways, with that being said, you guys take care, and I definitely will see you at the top.